Tom Garner here from Bulldog Hill. Today is the 27th of May, 2025, and I'm here to talk about a medication that we mix up here for our own pups that have bloody stools. Whenever pups have bloody stools, usually it's going to be one of three things. It's going to be hookworms, which you would treat with ivermectin. Ivermectin is probably the only medication, it's the only medication that I know of that will reliably eliminate hookworms. The second thing it could be is coccidia, for which we use toltrazuril. And then the third thing is Giardia. Giardia is probably the most difficult to treat, and over the years we've learned to combine some things that will make the treatment regimen shorter and more effective, and will eliminate a common confusion, which is whether it's actually Giardia or whether it's Clostridium perfringens, a bacterium that is it's in the soil almost everywhere. The common issue is that, well, there's a couple of issues associated with Giardia. One of them is that most dogs have Giardia, but they have Giardia at a low level. If the Giardia is present in sufficient numbers to actually be causing the bloody stool, then it's said to be clinical. If it's just present but is controlled by the immune system of the dog, then it's called subclinical. So where the confusion comes in is that whenever you take your dog into the vet, they'll check for Giardia, and most of the time they'll find Giardia. But the question is, and this is harder to determine, is it subclinical or is it actually clinical in the actual cause of the bloody stool? An alternative cause is the Clostridium perfringens bacterium. And you may treat with two different medicines for Giardia before you come to the conclusion that, well, it's actually the Clostridium perfringens. So this combination of medications that we put together has helped us tremendously in being able to efficiently get rid of the bloody stool and not have a prolonged exposure to pretty powerful antibiotics for the puppies. Let me stress that I'm not prescribing anything for anybody. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm just a guy who has raised and treated a lot of puppies for 47 years. So I don't have anything for sale, and I'm not prescribing anything. I'm just sharing with you what we do here and what has worked very well for us. It's just a slice of truth that I hope will only benefit your puppies. Okay, so what we have is, as you can see here, and you probably should screenshot this so you don't, you're not forever trying to remember it or find it again. You got a screenshot that you can put in a handy place on your phone, then you've always got it. The carrier agent is flaxseed oil. It's healthy. The more flaxseed oil your dogs get, probably the better. So that's why we choose this. We don't have a carrier agent that will act as a solvent for all three of these antibiotics. If we did, then we could produce what's called a solution. You'd never have to shake it up, or if you did, it would only be minimally. This is a suspension. These antibiotics, you can mix them up. They'll be nicely mixed when we get done mixing them in this blender. But they'll separate out very quickly. So before you use the solution, you will need to shake it vigorously, probably for a couple of minutes, to make sure that all of these antibiotics occur in the right proportion and you're not getting a medication or a mixture or a suspension that is biased towards one or the other of these antibiotics. So don't get lazy. You can shake a jar. Anybody can do that. And in the interest of doing right by your pups, make sure you do. All right, so this is a common household blender, and I'm gonna have to wash this thing very thoroughly when I get done, because my wife, my daughter use this to mix her smoothies, and I don't want them to ever know that I've done this. I've got another blender out in my shop that I typically do this with, and it's not nearly as clean as this one is, so I'm using this one for the video. All right, you can see these are labeled flaxseed oil. I didn't write 900 milliliters on here, but that's what it is. I think it's 907 milliliters equals a quart, and we're probably a little over the line. Fenbendazole, 90 grams, and this is pure fenbendazole. This is not 20% fenbendazole, this is pure. And whenever you honor these amounts, you've got to be using the pure substances. This is metronidazole, 90 grams. And specifically for the Clostridium perfringens, this is amoxicillin or clavamox. This is not clavamox. Clavamox is amoxicillin with added potassium, which takes it up to another level, but simple amoxicillin is sufficient for eliminating Clostridium perfringens. So we got 50 grams here. So I'm going to mix these all together. And the mixing is for your entertainment, because I'm pretty sure that just with the information that we've given you, you would know how to go through the rest of this. So we've thoroughly determined the range of concentration that's required in order to be in the midst of the therapeutic level for each one of these antibiotics. So you've got two things you've got to honor in doing this. One is be strongly in the therapeutic range, but not exceeding that, because some of these medications can be toxic. So we've done the calculations, and what we're giving you is accurate figures. All right, so I'm just going to pour this back into the flaxseed oil jar. Then I'm going to have a little bit left over because of the volume of the antibiotics. So I'll put the remainder back in a pint jar. So this is what it looks like when it's thoroughly blended, and this is what it should look like whenever you're finished shaking it. It's very important to label your jars when you finish. We have a couple medications that we mix. We mix our own Toltrasura with flaxseed oil as well. For coccidia, I've done another video on that. But make sure you label it, what it is, and what the dosage is. Again, 1 milliliter does 5 pounds of puppy body weight. So make sure you do this responsibly. If you choose to do it, again, not selling anything, not prescribing anything, just telling you what works for me. We went from having to deal with the bloody stools probably once a week to I've not seen a bloody stool in months, many months. It's a rare occurrence now because using this and then spraying the ground the rock dust that provides the base for our pups in our pens, spraying it with Wizzy Wash. Those two things have essentially eliminated probably 95% of the Giardia and Clostridium perfringens from the environment where our pups live. All right, we'll use this in good health, and thank you for watching.